Alright, hello. Week 3. We're going against Umbria Knight, and the team is just I don't know why it's but it is Also, I'm very sick if you can't tell, so let's try to make this quick. Alright, the matchup here. We got Goldengo, Garganackle, Enamorous, Hoopa Unbound, Noivern, Decidueye, Hisuian Decidueye, Salazzle, Toadscrew, Hisuian Samurott, Frost, and Orthworm. No, this team is like half of these mobs are mobs I've never played against before. In draft league, stuff like Samurott, Hisuian, Decidueye, Hoopa Unbound, Enamorous, Garganackle, Toadscrew, Orthworm. Just a bunch of new mons. So yeah, let's just move on. Our first mon is Chiyu, as always. This one's a boot set with Terra Dark, Dark Pulse, Overheat, Mastipot, and Flamethrower. Those three attacks, Fire and Dark is pretty perfect coverage for this match. Except against Hisuian Samurott, which gets blown back by a +2 Overheat anyway. And we're not... Sorry? We don't even need to set up an SPL race, we just overheat it. You can't really switch in safely ever, so. And Dark Pulse tends to be kind of free, and Flamethrower and Overheat are also kind of free. With Boots, you can switch in a lot, especially against Goldengo, because we resist both his stuff, so we do have to watch out for Focus Blast, because that could be scary. Terra Dark is so we can 2-hit KO Garganackle, especially defensive with 2 Dark Pulses. Oh, yeah, caramba. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Terra. We're not gonna be... We're not gonna be tearing Chiyu probably because we have another Terra captain that's more likely to be tearing this match. So yeah. Moving on. Roaring Moon, this is also Boots. I wanted to run Booster Energy, but I quickly realized that the hazards are very scary this match. And having Roaring Moon Boots made it more easily able to switch in. So it's a Dragon Dance set with Stone Edge for Enamorous, and Crunch and Dragon Claw for basically everything else. Yeah, you can switch into Loop Unbound kinda, and Scares Off Goldengo, and you can switch into Samurai Stabs. That's just kinda it, really. Scarfotum, this is for Enamorous and Goldengo, and yeah, and you can trick a Scarf onto Garganackle. This is just our fast mon. We'll go zoom, and we'll switch this around because Toadscrew definitely not gonna come. Next we have our second Terra Captain, Lilligant, Terra Ground, with Victory Dance, Close Combat, Ice Bear, and Terra Blast with leftovers. With this moveset, and with Terra Blast and Terra Ground, it's able to beat the mons that usually wall Close Combat and Ice Spinner, Goldengo and Salazzle. And a +1. We always OHKO Enamorous with Ice Spinner, Noivern with Ice Spinner, Toadscrew with Ice Spinner, Salazzle with Terra Blast. Everything else gets kind of walloped by Close Combat. And Goldengo's really the only problem. if it's defensive, we can take a hit and maybe Thunderwave us or something, or make it rain. But if we go Terra Blast, we Terra in front of it, it can't Thunderwave us, but it can still attack, so... But if it's not defensive, we can probably KO it with Terra Blast. Especially nothing, that's it. That's the end of the sentence. Moving on, we got Cresselia. It's Covert Cloak, Calm Mind, Moonblast, Moonlight, Sword Power, and Timid Nature quite fast. It comes in on Garganackle and sets up. It outspeeds Goldengo. And with Sword Power and Calm Mind boost, we're able to deal with it. And Moonblast is for Hoopa and Samurott, that's it. Here we got Sylveon. Hyper Voice, Protect, Wish, Baton Pass. Classic Sylveon, very, very cool and epic. Oh boy, how fun. That's it, I'm tired. I don't want to talk about this anymore. That's the end of the team builder. Someone save me from this hell that is being sick. Alrighty then. We've made it to the match. As you may notice, there is no live commentary for this match, as the match has already happened. If you're wondering why, the reason is I was sick and dying while the match was happening, as you may have noticed from the first half of the video where I was sick and dying. I continued to be sick and dying during the match, but now I am slightly less sick and dying, which means I can properly give commentary. So let's do that, shall we? Now, looking at the matchup, it's about what I expected. The only big surprise is Rotom Frost instead of something like Orthworm or Samurott or even Decidueye or Salazzle. I wasn't really expecting Rotom Frost at all, but it's fine. It's nothing we can't deal with. Now, Noivern wasn't something that appeared in the mock, but it's something that I was quite sure it would come, as I was expecting a Scarf set to make a big splash. So it could revenge kill DD Roaring Moon and +1 Lilligant after it goes for a victory dance. Other notes, there's the only dark type is Hoopa, which is good for Cresselia, and there's no Salazzle, which means I didn't really have to go for Terra Ground on Lilligant, but it's whatever. So starting off, I look at this team and think, what's the mon that has the best matchup into the most of our leads? Now, if the lead is Garganackle, we always just switch into Cresselia. If the lead is Goldengo, we always just switch into Chiyu. And other than that, let me explain that. Since Rotom is Scarf, it's pretty good lead. It lets us pivot with Volt Switch, and since there's no ground type, there's nothing to absorb those Volt Switches. So not only would it allow us to scout for, say, a Scarf Noivern, that's the lead. It would also scare out an Amorous and Goldengo. So that's allowing us to reposition against everything else. So that's basically the thought process. Now we switch directly Rotom into Cresselia. I don't remember why I didn't just Volt Switch, honestly. And Garganackle goes for Stealth Round. Now we start setting up. We go for Sulk here, but as I said before, we are Covert Cloak. The Cloak do be Covert. And we set up another Calm Mind as they switch into Goldengo. Now, I was thinking of going for maybe another Calm Mind, but the truth is, Specs Shadow Ball would have done quite a lot, and even after the +3. And the truth is, I really wanted to get some chip on Goldengo, so Star Power was the safer play. But they instead go for Thunder Wave, which misses. It's a pretty big miss. But now I know that that's what they're aiming to do, going for Thunder Wave, which means I can somewhat reliably read it and go into Rotom and take the Thunder Wave, as electric types are immune to paralysis. Now we scare it out, and we get to use our Shadow Ball and get some good chip on Noivern, which allows us to switch into Sylveon. And U-turn goes back into Goldengo. Now, fearing a Make It Rain, which would be kind of free and really strong, but even if it goes for Thunder Wave, I'm not too preoccupied. Either way, I just go for Protect to Scout, because I didn't think it would go for Recover on this turn. I just switch into Chi-Yu as it recovers now. We Dark Pulse, but it's Colbur Berry. In hindsight, Flamethrower was definitely the play there. Garganacl switching in wouldn't be a big deal, and an Arrow switching in, which would be allowed by Dark Pulse, would definitely be a bigger deal. So, yeah, Flamethrower would have definitely been the play. But what I was also thinking of, there's 2 Fire Resists and only 1 Dark Resist on this team, and I was thinking that Goldengo would be KO'd either way. But no, it's Colbur Berry, and we take the Dark Pulse, and it takes Dark Pulse, and we have to take a Thunder Wave, which is unfortunate. But either way, well, Hoopa comes in, which is even more unfortunate, because we get paralyzed, fully parried, which means we can't get some important chip on Hoopa. A Dark Pulse, which is I think what I was going for, it would have done quite a lot of damage. It wouldn't have KO'd or anything, but the damage would have been pretty nice. So we just switch into Sylveon and take a Focus Blast. And we go here for Hyper Voice, but it goes for Terra Water and gets a crit Psyshock. The crit definitely mattered for the KO, and it prevented us from getting, as I said, more chip on Hoopa. Now, at this point, I see somewhat of an opportunity, and I'm also a bit at a bit of an impasse. Since now this Hoopa is Terra Water, I have a feeling I can scare it off with Lilligant, because they don't know that I don't have Leaf Blade. And a Leaf Blade would definitely Oko Hoopa, because it has like, what, 60 defense, 80? And we have a lot of attack, and we're adamant and stuff. So, leaving Hoopa in on Lilligant would be incredibly risky. But, and we go for a Lilligant. We Terra, because we don't want to take a Psyshock. And as we Terra, we go for Victory Dance on the Psyshock, which means it does less damage thanks to our defense boost. And now we Oko Hoopa with Close Combat. And now it's a pretty crucial turn. If they switch in Noivern, I know for a fact they're Scarf. If they switch in anything other than Noivern, basically we just win, because at this point we Oko everything on his team, either Ice Spinner, Close Combat, or Terra Blast. So they switch in an Amorous, which is Oko'd by our Ice Spinner. And at this point, since I know Noivern's not Scarfed, I have a pretty good feeling that I just win. So this is basically the end of the match. Close Combat, Oko's Garganacl. Noivern gets slapped by Ice Spinner. And then the other 2 are KO'd by Close Combat and Terra Blast. So Lilligant gets 6 KOs this match, and gets to basically sweep the entire team, thanks to a well-timed Terra, and a good read on our part. Thanks to, well, yeah, because the moment that Noivern didn't come in, I knew it wasn't Scarf, because if it was, it would have just come in first. If they had sent in Noivern first, they would have been in a bit of a pickle, especially since Sylveon was out. But since we probably just sack Lilligant, hoping to maybe survive somehow, or that it maybe missed a Draco Meteor or a Hurricane or Air Slash. But so that bluff would probably not have worked. So really, this team after Lilligant got a quiver dance, so victory dance, basically fell apart. So that's a really nice win for us. And other than being sick, I'm glad it's a pretty good match. So I'm sorry that I was sick. Sorry I got infected by a virus and all that. Stuff like that happens. C'est la vie and all that. But that's it. So I'll see you next week, and hopefully we get more easy sweeps like that. Farewell.